Hi, I'm Tamara Shaw from OsteoTam Holistic Services, and this is the Natural Remedies for Animal Anxieties series. And today we're talking about fear of storms. And in the book, Natural Remedies for Dog Anxieties, there is a chapter on fear of storms. And I think it's a longer chapter, but I think it really demonstrates all the things that we need to consider when we're talking about animals that have the fear of storms or loud noises. So if you could bear with me while I read it, and I'm going to try to go faster. And at the same time, I'm going to put different remedies up on the screen that you can jot down or take with you for this chapter, because this is such an important chapter, because we have so many different festivals and so many different things that happen during the year, that this particular chapter can be beneficial for you and your pet. Okay, so here we go. Bear with me. Here we go. The most beautiful French Mastiff came to see me. She was 2 years old and had a history of being afraid of storms. She was up to date on all her vaccinations and was fixed. Every now and then she limped. The owner was very worried that she might have to be rehomed. She might have to rehome her because she was being very destructive. It was so sad. The giant sweetheart arrived with head hanging low, no morale, and limping, and just a little, limping just on a little on her back right. Energetically, she was completely depleted. My patient's room at my office is spacious enough to allow pets to have enough movement and freedom to feel safe, and at the same time not too big so that they cannot avoid me. The floor is covered with mats, so it is easy for me to move with the animals. As usual, I sat on the floor. By sitting or kneeling at the dog's level, I was less threatening to the dog, and more importantly, I can begin to separate from the owner and connect with the dog's heart emotionally. Curious, the giant dog lumbered over to me. I am always blown away with the size of a bull mastiff. Her head was bigger than mine. I did not move, but let her get to know me and my intentions. As her master continued to explain the difficult time she was having with Beatrice and how upset she was, the animal became more and more sad. We as owners do not realize how deeply our pets are connected to our feelings. Dogs may not understand our words, but they feel our emotions. So as the owner explained everything and shared her feelings, my patient became sadder. I am not saying that we need to hide our emotions. It is important to express ourselves so that we can discover how we can best work together to find the best solution for all. And sharing how we feel is a part of the healing process. I tried to lighten the subject. With every positive affirmation I gave to the owner, I was met with a negative response. But still the owner began to feel better, and she and the emotional tensions in the room were alleviating. Sometimes the more difficult it is for an owner to become optimistic, the deeper the emotional resistance is to the possibility of healing. That's true. I'm going to repeat that. Sometimes the more difficult it is for an owner to become optimistic, the deeper the emotional resistance is to the possibility of healing. The longer the problem has gone on, or the depth of the problem, can determine how much of a blockage there will be to letting go of the problem and seeing the problems differently. This resistance will determine how fast and how to best determine which remedy can help the animal involved. I'm not a psychologist, nor am I judging my owners. I am analyzing the energetic vibration between the owner and their beloved pet. This will affect the dog's healing and my counsel. With an open, loving heart, I continued to listen to Melanie, Beatrice's owner, and at the basis of all the pain and confusion was the fact, like all owners, this owner loved her great fur ball. As I listened, I began sending Reiki healing energy to both my patient and its master. Melanie explained that during the lockdown she was with Beatrice, but even then Beatrice would get scared and hide. I joked, well, I did too, but I got scared and hid. We both laughed, and I continued to send healing energy. Melanie, a little more relaxed now, didn't understand how Beatrice could be so scared. She's a huge dog, and this race is known for its courage. With her master's shift in heart, as if understanding and wanting to comfort her master, Beatrice left my side to comfort Melanie. So what happened there was Beatrice was starting to feel more calm, and her resistance had turned to just not understanding. So her heart was opening, and because of this, Beatrice returned to Melanie to make sure that she was okay and to comfort her. Then Beatrice returned to me. I reassured Beatrice with a loving caress. Melanie had had another French Mastiff, and he never had this problem. I explained, like humans, every dog is different. I asked her to describe her home and daily routine. She resisted, worrying about me judging, perhaps, having just met and painted the picture of a quiet place with Zen music. Melanie likes to read, paint, watch TV, talk to her friends and family. I asked her if Beatrice slept okay. She joked, "Yes, perfectly. Me, no." Noted. Everyone deals with stress differently, and what I saw was an extremely sweet, gentle woman who had had a difficult time with stress during the lockdown. She wanted to feel secure with her pet and could not because of her pet's anxiety. But even though she did her best to be calm and not to feel stress, she was hiding the anxiety she felt inside. And when her giant dog was afraid, it activated her fears inside and made everything worse. And inevitably, this made her dog's stress higher. I asked her how Beatrice was on the road. Could she take her for a long walk without any trouble? A light went off in her eyes, as if she were making a connection. She tries to run away if there is a big noise. She is working with a trainer to stop this because Melanie had fallen and twisted her right ankle. So Melanie had fallen and twisted her right ankle. I asked her to explain exactly what happens when there is a storm. She runs around and then backs herself into a table and into the corner. She trembles uncontrollably, trying to get into the corner. It is like she is trying to escape through the wall. No joke, last night she slammed into the wall and actually broke the leg on the sofa table. I continued to work on Beatrice, the dog, who was now laying on her side, letting me work on her right leg. Her ankle was out of place. Do you remember the first time she acted this way? When she hid in the corner? Yes, I was in the kitchen cooking pork chops. She tried to steal the pork chops and pull the plate off the counter. The food went everywhere and the plate shattered. It was the serving plate that my late grandmother had given me. I freaked out completely, terrified that she was going to hurt herself, and then when I realized it was my grandmother's wedding china, I became angry. I yelled at her to get away. She went and hid in the corner. It took me 20 minutes to get her out of the corner. I felt so bad. It's normal to react that way. You don't want her to get hurt. I looked in Beatrice's eyes. Her big, worrisome eyes seemed so understanding. I knew that there was hope, and reassured Melanie that there were things we could do that did not cost an arm and a leg to help this situation. As I finished her body session on Beatrice, I found Beatrice had a sprained back right ankle and another luxation in the middle of her back. The luxations and stress points both corresponded to stomach issues and nervous energy. I asked the owner if Beatrice had a sensitive stomach. Melanie confirmed. I love when this happens, this aha moment where everything begins to feel connected. The dog food Melanie feeds Beatrice follows the guidance talked about in the previous chapter. And Melanie takes Beatrice out for walks and jogs regularly so she gets enough exercise and she has a normal routine. The homeopathic counsel I needed to provide for Beatrice needed to include something for the sprains and the pain, as well as for her fear of storms. The fear of storms actually came from the trauma Beatrice had had when the plate crashed to the floor. The sound was like thunder and was connected to fear of getting in trouble. Since then, during storms, Beatrice hid. But because she is such a big animal, she inevitably breaks something, creating another big sound that terrifies her more. This provokes her owner to yell at her like the first time, another big sound. It was a cycle and we needed to change it. For Beatrice, I recommended the Bach flower essences Aspen and Rock Rose. But just working on Beatrice was not going to fix the situation. Melanie had to change her thinking. She had to let go of her stress and begin trusting her dog's behavior was going to change. For Melanie, I recommended Rescue Remedy to help quicken the transition. I also recommended visualization and meditation exercises while she was massaging her dog or petting her dog. The simple act of remembering good times when you and your dog were happy can start the process. Her job was to remember when she had and Beatrice were happy together, a playful moment, and feel the joy between them. Then reflect on a calm moment they enjoyed together. And then finally, imagine a storm arriving in this calm moment, and then sit joyfully together in this imagination. She was to do this every day for 21 days. After 2 weeks, Beatrice's fear of storms was beginning to be transformed. The flower essences chosen cleared out the past emotional trauma and sadness from letting her owner down, as well as her fear of storms, big noises. The time Melanie spent with Beatrice doing massage and visualization provided a calm, loving environment between the two. The final step to the process was for Melanie to continue the same routine and change the flower essences for Beatrice to Star of Bethlehem. When storm season came, we also added gelsemium 9CH, or 9C in English, 10 granules once a week, and the day of the storm for anxiety. With this program, Beatrice stopped acting out during storms, but if she had not, there were other things we could have tried. These are some of the modalities that will help with fear of storms. In homeopathy, Arnica montana 9C, phosphorus 9C, and gelsemium 9C. So the differences between arnica, phosphorus, and gelsemium. Arnica, it can help with pain and heal traumatism. And phosphorus is specifically for fear of storms and for animals that might have heart issues. Okay, and gelsemium is for anxiety before, during, and after the storm. So you can use these in combination. Different flower essences like Rescue Remedy, Star of Bethlehem is for dogs that have expressed abuse, trauma, and shock, whether experienced recently or in the past. Rock Rose is for panic or terror, trembling, extreme escape behavior. Okay, and then Sweet Chestnut is for self-mutilation. If your dog is chewing on himself when he's scared, use Sweet Chestnut. If your dog has bladder or stomach issues and when he's afraid or fear of storms, use chicory. If your dog tends to be normally nervous and anxious all the time, these are common with little dogs, impatience can help. Now, when you use flower essences, try to think how you would like to transition. If you know that your dog has been traumatized, start with rescue, and then 3 hours later, give something else like Rock Rose for terror and trembling, and then Sweet Chestnut, and then add Arnica for the traumatism, and do this for a little bit, and then move to another flower essence that can move your dog up the emotional scale. And that I love working with that. So if you have questions, or if you would like a video consultation, I can help with that. And deciding which flower essences to choose. Essential oils. In the essential oil category, I try to use, because if they ingest essential oils, we want to make sure that it's organic and a high quality essential oil. On this note, you can use bergamot or citrus bergamia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This can help balance the emotions, including depression, biting, frustration, and overall irritability. Lavender is the next one. This is probably the most well-known for stress, fear, and agitation. Sometimes this doesn't work, or sometimes you need to combine this with other ones. In the other chapters, we've talked about how to use them. And the different ways to use essential oils. Rose damask. There are different types of rose essential oils, and rose essential oils can be a little bit more expensive. If that is too high for your budget, you can use geranium. Okay, so these are for animals that have been abused and are processing past abuse, nervousness, fear, and anger and panic. I'm also going to add Rose, if your animal is, if it's a female and she has problems with her cycle, her hormones, okay? Ylang Ylang has a sedative action. It can also help with nervous bladder issues and can serve nervousness associated with insecurity. Frankincense helps to calm breathing during times of stress and fear. Spikenard, Spikenard, is also the Latin name is Nardostachys jatamansi. It is grounding and it can help with PTSD. Now, all of these are good for us too. If you're giving it to your pet, I recommend that you take it too. And the last one is geranium rose. It's calming and can balancing for your dogs that are moody, fearful, and insecure. In aromatherapy, you don't need to use high level quality essential oils because it's just the essence of and it's diffused. There's no chance of it being eaten or ingested. So with this, I would use mint, lime, mint, pine, and lemon. There are also aromatherapy collars that might help relax your pet, but don't use aromatherapy collars if your pet has or has had seizures. Okay. Meditation and visualization. Meditating with your pet is extremely beneficial. You can do this with your pet or when you're away from your pet to help calm his anxiety. Just setting up a routine every day at like a noon you meditate or think of your pet. Think about the time when you were so happy when your pet came home and it was a puppy and you couldn't wait to get home. Reiki and distance healings can be beneficial for your pets, so that I also highly recommend that you get attuned to Reiki 1 with the power symbol. That can help. Reiki 2 will also add the emotional mental symbol, which you can use in distance healings. Reiki 1 with the power symbol combined with meditation. And Reiki 1 and 2 can help you actually do a distance healing on your pet. Animal communicators can get to the root of the problem. Again, you can always call me for that too if you like. And gemotherapy or crystal essences, they work they're faster. They're not faster. They work differently, and they work energetically to open the heart to love and to heal certain other issues. Okay. So with amethyst is considered the master healer. It can help with separation anxiety and fear, as well as help your animal to focus. Rose quartz, love and balance. That's what rose quartz will give. And the stone can be great with rescue animals or animals that suffering from past cruelty. It can aid in forgiveness, reduce stress, and open hearts to love and gentleness. Clear quartz, another master healer, can amplify intentions and deepen the bond between dogs and their owners. Citrine, this stone can help clarity and happiness. Now you can, I'm just going to interrupt here and say that if your dog is prone to eating rocks, you don't want to have these around. You can have them high up in the room, but if your dog is prone to eat and if your dog is safe with rocks, you can put them, and I've known people that have put them in their beds, the dog's bedding, around the room, or their collars. Now, I always counsel against this because if your dog scratches his neck and the stone falls and then he eats it, you could always have a problem. But there exist elixirs of crystal, which are like flower essences, and you can either put that directly on your pets, like we've talked before, or you can spray it in the air, and these can be beneficial. So let me continue with the list. Blue satellite, the stone or essence can be helpful for anxiety that causes pain and fear. Malachite, this stone can help change unwanted compulsive behaviors. Carnelian, this stone can be recommended to build confidence and self-esteem and is known for releasing sadness and depression. And black tourmaline, this stone can protect animals from absorbing stress, fear, anger, etc. during difficult times. So if you're going through a difficult time, you might want to spray or give your pet the essence of black tourmaline to help protect him from absorbing your energies, for example. There are t-shirts that you can get for your dog um, or your cat that are called thunder shirts. Now, all of these, up until now, we've been able to use and do with all animals, not just dogs and cats. Even though I'm reading the book about dogs. This can be used for all animals. Cats, you want to stay away from essential oils. We've already talked about that, but you can use the diffuser. Birds, you can use just a tiny bit, like one drop, won't hurt the bird. It's if it becomes toxic when they have too much of it. But you don't want the bird to ingest it, so you would put it like on the edge of the cage, so there's just a little bit of it in the air, or maybe just one spritz in the air. Okay, for horses, you can be a little bit more aggressive. You can put it on their back, on their legs. You can put it on their nose and have it taken internally. Any of these things, okay? For sound therapy, I recommend it for all animals, and for animals that have fear of storms and fear of loud sounds, sometimes you can play the heartbeat, just a heartbeat, okay? Let's go back to clothes for a second. I've forgotten something. You can wear put a stuffed animal or one of their toys in your shirt, or wear or give them something of yours, and put that in their bedding or in their cage if your pet is crate trained, okay? And that can help calm them too. So sound therapy, as mentioned in the previous chapter, certain races are more prone to feel separation anxiety than others, or fear of storms. Lap dogs are used to being close to you, being held near your heart. Music of the sound of a heartbeat and calming music that has been known to calm pets while you are not there. The music known as the perfect fifth helps soothe the nervous system, distress the Reiki, and as a result helps to relax dogs. I'm not sure I would choose the tuning fork perfect fifth, but go for more of a Reiki mix with perfect fifth, okay? If you look on YouTube. Lots of love, sweet talk, and comforting caresses during all moments when your dog is faced with loud noises can be helpful. And finally, have fun with your dog and play loud music from time to time. Yeah, this is really beneficial, because if you're always living in a calm, if your dog is always in a calm atmosphere, making loud noises from time to time, and being playful during those times can help your dog feel good about loud sounds. Okay, and there are many remedies that can be beneficial to your pet. The remedies listed above and in all these chapters are modalities that have worked for my patients. If your pet continues to have challenges, do not give up hope. This is the most important. Do not give up hope. Visit a specialist, a homeopath, osteopath, naturopath, chiropractor, animal communicator, behavioralist, etc. They will be able to provide a program specific to your dog's needs. The next thing we're going to talk about is barking incessantly. And